Hello everyone. Today we will learn the different additives which we use in parenterals or while formulating the parenterals for different purposes. Friends, this is a fourth part of parenterals in which we are going to study the different additives with their role, with their examples in parenterals. After watching this video, you will be able to learn all about different additives for parenteral, like the purpose and different examples with their percent concentration. The different additives used in parenterals are the antimicrobial agents, the antioxidants, the buffering agents, tonicity modifiers, suspending agents, emulsifying agents, co-solvents, and the chelating agents. Let's see one by one with their role and with their examples with percent concentration. The first one is antimicrobial agents. Antimicrobial agents are the substances that kills or inhibit the growth of microorganisms. Antimicrobial agents must be added in multiple dose product. As the multiple dose products are used multi times, hence it is necessary or mandatory to add the antimicrobial agents to prevent the growth of microorganisms. If we don't add antimicrobial agents in multiple dose containers or products, the microbial growth may occur, which leads to degradation of the product, which is not desirable. Hence, while formulating multiple dose product, we must add antimicrobial agents into it. Here are some examples of antimicrobial agents with their percent concentration range: benzyl alcohol 0.5 to 10%, benzthonium chloride 0.01%, chlorbutanol 0.25 to 0.5%, metacresol 0.1 to 0.25%, methyl paraben 0.01 to 0.18%. These are the examples. There are other antimicrobial agents are there which we can use while formulating parenterals. The next one is antioxidants. As the name suggests, antioxidants, this must be preventing the oxidation of the product. These are the substances which improve the stability of the preparation by delaying or preventing the oxidation of the drug and other excipients which we are using in parenterals. There are three types of antioxidants. The first one is reducing agent. These are the substances have lower redox potential than the drug and the excipient that they are intended to protect. Hence, they get themselves oxidized. Examples are ascorbic acid esters, concentration used 0.01 to 0.015%, tocopherols, concentration used is 0.05 to 0.075%. The another category of antioxidant is blocking agents, which inhibit oxidation by reacting with the free radicals and blocking chain reaction. Examples are citric acid, concentration is 0.005 to 0.01%, citranoic acid, example is 0.03 to 0.45%. And the next category of antioxidant is synergist. These have less antioxidant property themselves, but they enhance the oxidant property of the first group by reacting with the heavy metal ions, which leads to oxidation. The example is ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid salt, and the concentration used is 0.01 to 0.075%. The next additive is buffering agent. The buffering agents are used to maintain the pH of formulation within the pharmacopoeial limit. to maintain the pH is effect on the stability of the drug, which effect on the excipient stability. So it is very important to maintain the pH of a formulation within pharmacopoeia limit, and these are the examples of buffering agents which we add in parenteral as a buffering agent with their percent concentration. Acetic acid 0.022%, adipic acid 1%, citric acid 0.5%, lactic acid 0.1%, sodium phosphate monobasic 1.7%, sodium bicarbonate 0.005%. The next additive which we use in parenteral is tonicity modifiers. The role of tonicity modifiers in parenteral is to maintain the isotonicity of the formulation. Friends, if the solution becomes hypotonic or it may becomes the hypotonic, it will cause the plasmolysis or it will cause the shrinking or bursting of the cell. To avoid this, we add a tonicity modifiers into the parenteral formulation. Here are some examples of tonicity modifiers which we use in parenterals. Glycerin, and the concentration we use is 1.6 to 2.25%. Lactose 0.14 to 5%. Mannitol 0.4 to 2.5%. Dextrose 3.75 to 5%, and sodium chloride, the concentration varies. The next additives which we use in parenteral, suspending agent. Suspending agents are added to parenteral preparation to improve the stability by preventing the sedimentation of the particles. As we all know the role of suspending agents, they prevent the sedimentation of particles, so the particles remain suspended in the solution or in the formulation. Here are some examples of suspending agents. Gelatin 2%, methyl cellulose 0.03 to 1.05%, pectin 0.2%, polyethylene glycol 4000 2.7 to 3%, sorbitol solution 50%. The next additive which we use in parenteral is emulsifying agent. The emulsifying agents are added into the parenteral preparation to improve the stability by preventing the phase separation purpose. These are the agents which prevent the phase separation of the formulation. And here are some examples of emulsifying agents. Dimethyl acetamide, the concentration is 0.001%. Dioctyl sodium sulfosuccinate, concentration is 0.015%. Lecithin, concentration is 0.5 to 2.3%. Polysorbate 20, concentration is 0.01%. The next additives which we use in parenteral is co-solvent. The co-solvents are added to the parenteral preparations for enhancing the solvent power of the primary solvent. Means, if the drug is not freely soluble in the primary solvent, then the co-solvent may be added to it to improve the solubility or to improve the solvent power of primary solvent, so that the drug may get freely soluble. Here are some examples of co-solvents which we use in parenterals. Ethyl alcohol, the concentration is 0.61 to 49%. Glycerin 14.6 to 25%. Propylene glycol 0.2 to 50%. The next additives which we use in parenteral is chelating agents. Chelating agents are added to parenteral preparations to prevent degradation by inactivating the metals or ions. Here are some examples of chelating agents. Edited disodium, concentration range is 0.00368 to 0.05%. Edited calcium disodium, range is 0.04%. Edited tetrasodium, concentration is 0.01%. So these are all about the additives which we add in parenteral preparations with their role and the example with percent concentration. If you have any question, please raise your question in comment section. Thank you.